already.
You know, this is, I mean, it's kind of depressing, but it's topical, so let's. Elon Musk, billionaire, CEO, and master of spin. This is an article from Futurism.com. Neuralink tests only on terminally ill monkeys, says Elon Musk, and that's some serious mental gymnastics. SpaceX and Tesla CEO took to Twitter, formerly X, over the weekend to defend his brain chip company, Neuralink, against animal abuse claims. Ever the logician, I love that word, Musk is now claiming that contrary to media reporting in a federal investigation, Neuralink's brain implants didn't actually kill any monkeys. According to him, the animals were on the edge of death already. So Neuralink first came under fire in February of last year when a medical nonprofit filed a complaint alleging that the company performed invasive and deadly brain experiments on 23 rhesus macaques. Is that what?
Rhesus macaques.
Rhesus macaques.
It could be racist.
Reese's Pieces macaque.
Yes. 15 of these
That's
monkeys.
an ET reference.
Oh, nice. 15 of the monkeys the nonprofit claimed ultimately died as a result of the testing. Now, the company did dispute the exact number of dead monkeys in a reactionary blog post, my favorite kind of blog post.
Oh, is there any other kind?
It did confirm that 8 of its monkeys, or 21% of the total testing cohort, had perished during trials. So then Musk is saying, well, they were going to die already. So it seems to be in conflict with what his own company has already said was in fact the case.
I hate people.
Yeah. So
I hate racist monkeys.
if the allegations against Neuralink are true, the company certainly wasn't up to animal ethics codes. Suffering is suffering, whether an animal is terminal or not. Also, Natalia, just thinking about this, I know there are, we use vaccines. There are lots of medical things that we do use animals for. But I would assume that to test on an already terminally ill animal it won't give you an unbiased result because they're ill. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and not only that, but why are they terminally ill? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Are they suffering from something that they got? Where is he sourcing his primates, essentially?
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Is he getting them from other medical facilities that had done other previous tests on them, and that's why they're terminal? Like, is he going to the old folks for rhesus macaques and being like, "Excuse me, give the hospice care individuals"? You know what I mean? And that's the thing that it's very elective procedures. It's not like testing vaccines or medicinal efficacy and things of that sort. That, like, for instance, a good friend of mine works on St. Kitts, an island in the Caribbean. Who the island of the Caribbean basically has all these green monkeys that were brought over from Africa, and they've kind of overrun the island. And so, but green monkeys, like macaques, because macaques are often used for medical research because there's no shortage of them. They're not, necessarily critically endangered like other monkeys are. They're used for medical research, yeah, it's tough because, like, for instance, the ones that are trapped in St. Kitts, they're oftentimes sold into medical research, and but when they're going to things for, like, again, testing vaccine efficacy and things like that, at least it's like there's a goal that is, I think, far more noble and valuable than excuse my French, a fucking Neuralink. You know what I mean? That's not necessary. When you're causing suffering like that there's no need for that. Especially, and if it's causing death too, I mean, that's a huge problem. So I don't know what kind of IRB review he went through, because usually you have to go through, for vivisection, you have to go through a lot of paperwork to make sure whatever you're doing is, above board. I have a feeling that Elon Musk is one of those people that probably didn't go through the right channels, and I hope gets dinged pretty bad. Not that it's going to affect him really, but hopefully make him think twice before he does it again.
Well, frankly, you've lost all credibility because that was not French. That was a straight-up obscenity, and it was an English word.
Do you know les phoques? The word phoque means? What? It means seal in French. Où est les phoques?
Où est le phoque? What then? All right. What does fuck mean in French?
Fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, so you could really screw up with a seal saying one thing over the other. I want to make sure we get to this. I'm getting verklempt. I'm so excited about it because I want to see from your end too, excuse me, how much of this happens in the primate world. But it has a sad ending, unfortunately. After the death of this hybrid, they were finally able to confirm through extensive DNA test that it is the world's first. And guys, we do have video of this. Okay. And picture a fox-dog hybrid. It is everything that you think a fox-dog hybrid would look like. Just died of natural causes. Was kept by, I don't know, it was like some sort of veterinary place in Brazil after getting hit by a car. They didn't really know what it was. They didn't know it was this. Didn't think foxes and dogs could even mate. But now it has been confirmed. It should just be right underneath, like, the Beetlejuice wonderfulness that we saw. And it led, look at this bad boy. And now, look at, especially the eyes.
So
wow.
Cool.
I mean, that is insane. Oh, look at that little yawn. So, obviously,
and I have
where there's
friends that have wolf dog looking creature or fox dog looking creatures, and they were very excited.
I want to know what the DNA test is on them because, of course, our good pals at, the Daily Mail, they went into a long list. This should be the second link, and we just have pictures of these, but they're all great, of other dog primates out there. Obviously, the wolf dog, since they're so closely related. That happens a lot. Very illegal lone one. Although the Czechoslovakian and Sarlus breeds have a lot of wolves mixed with German shepherds in them and are allowed for some reason, are legal in many countries. Sort of looks just like a wolf to me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I had a block over for years. I had a man that I would jog past this house, and I thought it was so still, it never moved. I thought it was a statue of a wolf in the front, like on the porch. I was like, like a life-size wolf. I was like, that is the craziest weird statue I've ever seen. And then one day I was jogging past it, I stopped, and it moved, and I literally lost my shit. And then I jogged past it on Valentine's Day that year, and the guy was out front, and I said, excuse me, I call it Wolfie. Can I please talk to you about your wolf dog? And he's like, oh no, it's 100% wolf. It's half timber wolf, half tundra wolf, 170 pounds. And he lived to be 13, and then he passed away, but he got him from a breeder in Nevada.
Was that legal to own?
It's not legal at all.
Probably not. But the very sweet, kind dog, but I got him at the tail end of life, he probably would have been a lot scarier at 5, but I volunteered at an animal sanctuary that has a lot of wolf hybrids, 70%, 60% wolf.
They're
crazy, because it's like you think they're a dog, and then they'll do something, and you're like, oh no, they're a wolf. Like they could do some harm if they really wanted to. So you gotta keep yourself in check.
CNN did a great thing on wolves about 2 or 3 years ago, and even at the puppy stage, they were doing a compare and contrast between wolf pups and dog puppies. And the wolf pups, just while unbelievably adorable and enjoy doing certain things, would not do the fetching, would not play the games with adults, were very disengaged with all things humans, where puppies right away were in it to win it. Loved the fetching, just amazed and attracted by all things humans, where the wolf pups could give a shit. And that difference is just like from the beginning.
I sound like a wolf pup.
Yeah.
A new nickname for you. And they've got jackal dogs. Dingo dogs do not surprise me so much because our dingoes just basically wild dogs. And then, of course, koi dogs.
The koi fish?
No, like a coyote.
Coyote dog.
Made famous, of course, in Young Guns 2, when Pat Garrett describes Billy the Kid as a koi dog. Oh, look at that bag. That's a jackal dog.
Are they on a plane? Are they flying first?
You know what, though?
Class.
That's a jackal dog influencer.
Yes.
And gets invited to a lot of those things on the private jets. Which one is that? That's another jackal dog. Looks more like a
reindeer
wolf.
husky.
Look at that's pretty.
Is this a healer? That looks like a blue healer.
That's an Australian cattle dog related to the dingo.
The dingo, yeah.
And there's a dingo. Locks the babies.
Dingo ate my baby.
Actually did. Thought it was fake for a while. So, yeah, I mean, obviously these things, I guess, and obviously where there's one Brazilian fox dog, There are undoubtedly others. Does
Yeah.
this? I go to the orangutan for how weird looking it is, and I want to see it mix with like a chimp. But is that possible? Have we seen this in the primate community?
Yeah, so actually, the same animal sanctuary, Animal Tracks, where I volunteer, they have a baboon hybrid, an olive and hamadryas baboon hybrid, which is pretty common. And her name's Chrissy or Booney. But yeah, she's a kind of cool mix because she's got like the great traits of each of the baboons, right? And that's something that you see pretty
awesome.
regularly. It's different baboon hybrids. Macaques oftentimes can interbreed if they come in contact with each other because they're genetically similar enough. But yeah, I mean, we do see, a little bit of the mixing here and there. And a lot of it, they're actually, when I was working on Star Talk, I remember they had like, what are your predictions for like next year? And I said, because of climate change and global warming, we see a lot of more hybridization. Like you see more coy wolves because like, for instance, coyotes and wolves, there's not enough prey for them, so they're kind of their home ranges might overlap. In which case, and they might not find mates that are genetically dissimilar. So, or there's too much family in the area, so they'll mate with each other. Or, for instance, polar bears mating with grizzly bears, because either grizzly or roller bears, right? This is not so much like a liger. Like for instance, tigers and lions don't generally overlap in the same territory, unless you're talking like an Asian lion and a tiger, because tigers are only found in Asia. But yeah, so but you see like the growler bear and pizzly bear. You see even shark hybrids. So even sharks are having issues getting laid, and they're like, "Oh, well, you'll do. Okay, let's do this." And shark sex is pretty cool. Instead of having a penis, they have these things called claspers, which are like a 2-pronged baloney pony. It's pretty neat. It can be pretty aggressive. Female sharks oftentimes have thicker skin than males because they get bit so bad during the mating process. And female sharks are bigger. Like great white shark females are bigger than the males, and they have thicker skin to take on those love bites.
They've never recorded 2 great whites mating, but they have seen plenty of female great white with just bite and scratch marks all over her back from they're into the rough stuff.
Wait.
What can I tell you?
I have the one. So I did a video about great white shark shagging. Yeah, growler bear is great, but great white shark shagging. The only person that is recorded and on record to have seen 2 great whites mate is a man named Dick Ledgerwood of New Zealand.
Oh, we can't believe him.
No,
yeah, I know.
I call a hoax.
Oh,
especially a Kiwi. Well, this sounds like it is science fiction, and I guess a little bit of it is, except not the fiction part. I think it was either after World War II or perhaps during, the Soviets developed a program where they were going to try to mate, I believe it was either chimpanzees or gorillas, with human beings.
It was a humanzee.
Humanzee army. This is for real. I mean, they didn't actually do it, although there have been many a bald chimpanzee that would walk upright or what have you, and people would say, "Oh, that's got part human in it." Has there ever been rumors within the primatology community of weird, Chinese type backwater places where they've tried to do such things? I mean, obviously,
no, but there's been cloning. Like for instance, I know that I believe China did clone a monkey. Around the same time, Barbara Streisand cloned her dog. I did a podcast on it on Star Talk.
Well spent.
Yeah, I know that there was the first monkey was cloned, but so many monkeys died.
Oh, sure.
In the process to get that one clone, and it's also kind of like why? I mean, especially macaques. I think it was a macaque, so it was like it's kind of like I made the joke on the show. It's ironic that the first animal that was cloned in Scotland was a sheep. Like they need more of those. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, come on now. But also like so many animals died to even get there. But one of the coolest hybrids I want to bring up is, and this was actually really interesting. I was talking about this at a party last night. Was the camp? There were 2 camps in anthropology. Those that thought we definitely got down with Neanderthals, and those that thought we would never screw those chinless freaks, because humans are the only species with a chin. And, if you really get into it, all the things that mostly men, have tried to have sex with, animate or inanimate, is just off the chain. Absolutely ridiculous. A mailbox, a watermelon, we all know about the pies and the various animals and things. So it's of course, when they were able to sequence the DNA of Neanderthals, it was no surprise that, yes, we absolutely did get down with those chinless freaks. And so we do have Neanderthal in, modern day human populations. Also Denisovans, which was another hominin species that existed during the Pleistocene in Europe at that time, or Europe and Asia. And there's other unknown hominin. They're called ghost hominin lineages, where we see DNA, but we don't necessarily have the skeleton to go with it. But we know that we were mating with something else.
That is amazing to me, that we
yeah.
have something within our makeup that we have yet to discover that we fucked.
Yeah, that our ancestors got down with, but it just also shows, like, one of the things that I definitely, if you hear some weird sounds, it's my pug snoring loudly. Raisin.
I blame
Wow,
myself.
dear Lord, just grinding corn or something. But yeah, you see that linear trajectory of evolution, and we talk about a missing link, and a missing link would suppose that, evolution is a chain. It's this linear line, and it's not that. It's actually more of this brambly, weird bush. And Rebecca Ackerman out of South Africa, she's a biological anthropologist, and she talks a lot about hybridization and the fact that it wasn't this sort of very clean way of, straight and linear line of evolution. It actually was much more messy, and we're still figuring it out. We're still filling in holes that we don't quite understand how everything fits together. But that's the kind of cool thing, is we're putting together this giant puzzle, and we might not ever get all the pieces of the puzzle, but we can just keep trying. Which is pretty darn neat.
Yeah, it's like you just described our show.